يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وآمنوا برسوله يؤتكم كفلين من رحمته.
And so in this 22, he will talk about the last one, which is one of the most important of them all. And so he says, to begin this one, he says, أيها الولد اسمع مني كلاما آخر وتفكر فيه حتى تجد خلاصا. So he says to him, he says, أيها الولد, oh my dear son, listen of some words, kalam minni, from me, آخر, the last, or the another one. وتفكر فيه, and think about it. Think about it. So what is he going to tell him? What is he going to tell him in this one is he's making an analogy. And so he says to him that if a ruler, sultan, came, and he says back to Usbu'in that after a week, the ruler comes to you, the sultan, and he tells you that, or that someone tells you, if someone had told you that the sultan, by way of letter or messenger, came to you that the sultan, the leader, or the ruler, was going to come and visit you, and that he would visit you after 1 week, what would you do? What would you do? Imam Ghazali says what you would do is that you would start to clean, you would start to make sure everything is in order. You would make sure that that if the sultan, whatever he looks at, your clothing, what you have on, he looks at you, he looks at your houses, he looks at your furniture, and so on, you would make sure that it's clean, and you would make sure that it is ready for him, and that he would not think of anything about you, but you would want to leave him with a good impression. So this is what he says to begin. And then he says, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم إن الله لا ينظر إلى صوركم ولا إلى أعمالكم ولكن ينظر إلى قلوبكم ونياتكم. Or another narration, أعمالكم. So he quotes the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He says that the Prophet ﷺ, he says, certainly Allah will not look to your outward bodies. He will not look at your surikum, your forms. وَلَا إِلَىٰ أَعْمَالِكُمْ, or you will not look at your deeds. Now, this hadith that he puts in, there's another narration of this hadith. So he says, Allah will not look at your forms or your deeds. However, He will look at your hearts, and He will look at your intentions. Look at your heart's intention. Now, the other narration of the hadith is, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَنْظُرُ إِلَىٰ أَشْكَالِكُمْ وَصُورِكُمْ وَلَكِنْ يَنْظُرُ إِلَىٰ قُلُوبِكُمْ وَأَعْمَالِكُمْ. Another narration is that verily Allah will not look at your shekel, how your form, your ethnicity, and so on and so forth, or your form, but He will look at your, or in other narrations, amwalikum, your wealth, and so on. However, Allah will look at your hearts, and He will look at your deeds. Anyhow, the point of this is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to look at the person's heart, and He's going to look at the states of the heart.
To be the first to receive more great videos like this as they're released, click that subscribe button. Also, to take a course and increase your knowledge, go to Kiflayn.com.